Hey there, it's Victoria Gallagher from HipTalk.com. So today I'd like to answer a frequently asked question that I get from a lot of people who are interested in purchasing my Attract a Loving Relationship product or any of the kind of love and relationship products that I carry on my website. People want to know, will hypnosis help me to get my ex back? And this is an interesting question. I've been there before in a couple of relationships, and sometimes you can get your ex back. The question is, do you really want your ex back as they are right now? And when I say that, as they are right now, there's obviously some reason why you're not together. So are you not together because they are not as crazy about you as you are about them? Are you not together because you have an unhealthy relationship? Are you not together because that you made an ultimatum and you're sticking to that, like they didn't want to get married, or you didn't want to get married, or something along those lines? And the truth of the matter is if there's something that they're doing or you're doing that is really not true for them or you for you to be together, then maybe that's not really the person that you want to be. And now I know that if you're striving and wanting to get your ex back, that there's some reason, something in you is wanting to hold on to that person, and it's probably because they make you feel so good and they bring out something in you that you never felt before. But I got to tell you something, those feelings that you feel when you are with that person or when you think about them, they don't make you feel that way. You make yourself feel that way. All of that chemical reaction, the emotions, all of that good stuff that you're feeling, it's all inside of you. You made that happen because of the way you think about them and because of the way you feel about them. And you can feel that way again about someone else, I promise you. And if that person is meant to be with you, then they will come back. I've been on both ends of that spectrum myself personally. I've been in a relationship quite a long time ago, and I'm actually very happy that I was in that relationship and that it worked out and didn't work out actually the way that it did, because this was the kind of thing, maybe you can relate to it, where we just kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it was mostly me at the time wanting to try to keep the relationship together. And, ultimately it just ended up, taking about 5 years of my life to realize that this was just not the person for me. And great person, still friends with this person today, but just wasn't right for me. And they couldn't give me what I was looking for. And so I'm glad that I had that experience, because ultimately in the relationship that I'm in now with my husband, we want the same things. And at a time we didn't want the same things. And so when that became obvious to me, I let him go. And it was the best thing that I ever did in my life, because it was really the first time that I really got it. I really got the whole concept of how law of attraction really works. And so I want to just kind of talk to you a little bit about what you need to do in order to move on from this relationship, because you can possibly get this ex back, but you have to let it go in order to bring it back. So what that means is that you need to be open to the idea that this or some other relationship will show up in your life. So one thing that I want you to do is I want you to make a list. Now, some people kind of think, oh, if I make this list and I'm kind of narrowing down my prospects. What this list does is it gets you clear about your intention to manifest this relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything on your list is going to be a necessity, but this is kind of like your dream list. And I would say 20 to 30 items on this list, anywhere from the kind of character, values that this person has to even maybe something about their appearance. Put anything that motivates you towards somebody on that list. Anything that you feel, it can be a lot of the characteristics. You were with the person that you were with for a reason, and there were some things that you learned about yourself and your wants and your desires from being with that person. And there's some things that you probably also know that you don't want. This is not a don't want list, however. So you want to write in the positive sense of the qualities that you do want. You don't want to start getting into some conversation like, well, I don't want somebody that's argumentative, or I don't want somebody who isn't giving. I don't want somebody who doesn't have a job, or I don't want somebody who does, too much smoking or taking drugs or whatever. You want to avoid those conversations. You want to come from a place of the positive. So if you hear yourself saying, I don't want, or not, or no, or never, or any of those kinds of things, just don't even, those are not to go on your list. The only things that should go on your list are the qualities and characteristics that you are looking for. And as you're doing that, after you've made that list, what you also want to do next is you want to take a look at that list. And now you want to be very honest with yourself and ask yourself if you measure up to all the qualities and characteristics of the things that you're looking for on this list. And this is time for you to really take a look at your own self-growth. This is an opportunity. If you're single now and you're looking for the man or the woman of your dreams, this is an opportunity for you to become the type of person that the person you're looking for is looking for. So obviously we want to kind of match up in all of the various different things. If you want somebody who's kind, take a look at yourself. Are you kind? If you want somebody who has a great body or is in great physical shape, take a look at yourself. Are you in great physical shape? If you are looking for somebody who is successful, take a look at your success in life. And success looks all different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean financial success. If you consider yourself successful in some way, maybe you're successful at raising your children and you've raised very intelligent, happy children, or maybe you've successfully gotten an education, or maybe there's something else that you're successful at. Whatever those things are that you're looking for, you want to look at how you measure up to those, because you're only going to attract to you like people, such people that are like you, that have those same kind of positive characteristics. Now, at the same time, I also want to explain a little bit about how the opposites attract do fit in here. You are ultimately looking for some qualities and some characteristics. Now, there may be some things on the opposite end of the spectrum that you may attract, and that is the growth that is available for you in that relationship. There's certain things that you are lacking that the other person has more of than you do. And so it is those things that maybe you're lacking in yourself. Maybe, you're the kind of shy person, and you tend to always attract people that are very outgoing. or funny. And, or maybe you're a very controlling person. So you tend to maybe attract somebody who's very passive. All right. So that's where the opposites attract kind of measures up, because somebody who's relatively controlling, all right, would attract somebody who's a little bit more passive. And that way the two of you sort of have this goal, to work on in your relationship ultimately, that helps you to grow. You become less controlling. This person becomes more, more assertive in what, they want to bring to the table. And so, these are, just a few things that you want to consider. So are you really ready to meet that person? Are you really, really in alignment with all of those things on your list that you're looking for? And then finally, and there's so many things that I could discuss with you here, but one of the things that I find that when people are looking for the man or woman in your dream of your dreams is, they get a little wishy-washy with the universe. Sometimes they say, I'm looking for somebody, and other times they kind of say, I'm fine just being single. It's fine. And so you have this kind of wishy-washy attitude about it. You need to make it very clear to yourself and everyone around you that not from a place of desperation, but just from a place of wholeness and self-confidence and assuredness that I am going to meet the man or woman of my dreams. And, here are the steps that I'm taking to make that happen. And one step that you can take to make that happen is I have a whole bunch of different types of CDs on my website that will help you in the love and relationship department. But aside from that, if that's all you do, you're not going to meet the person that you want to meet. You need to put yourself out there. You need to, start to date. Go on. There's so many today. There's just no reason not to meet people, because you have Match.com. You have, I met the man of my dreams on Match.com. So don't knock it till you try it if you haven't tried it yet. And there's, I don't know, like 8-minute dating, and there's all kinds of so many ways. But if you tell people that you're interested in meeting somebody, if you start to just do things that are different for you, take steps and go to places maybe that you haven't gone. But let me forewarn you, don't go places where you wouldn't want to go again. Because if you start going places just for the sole purpose of meeting somebody and you never really had an interest in that kind of place, well, guess what? You're going to probably meet somebody that's going to have interests that are not like yours. But if there are things, maybe what I mean by doing something different is if there are things that you've been wanting to try, like going to a meditation class or going to a yoga class or learning to cook or things along that line, going and putting yourself out there to meet people in all kinds of situations, doing things that you like doing is a wonderful way to meet people, because A, it puts you in a positive vibration, and B, it also is bringing you closer to meeting people who have like interests. So those are just like a few, I guess, dating tips, and also just, letting you know that, it is possible for your ex to come back, but you really want to not focus on that so much as you do just wanting to focus on healing yourself, moving on, becoming a better person, becoming the type of person that you would want to meet if you were looking for you, and getting yourself clear and firm about what it is that you want, and then putting yourself out there and making it happen. I wish you all the best of luck in your journey toward finding your soulmate. I know that I've found mine and it's wonderful. And so I know that it's possible. It did take me quite a number of years. Some people want to give up after 30 days or 90 days or, it's not working. I mean, this is somebody you're going to spend the rest of your life with. 25, 50, 75 years. I don't know how old you are, but, this is worth taking time to find and enjoy yourself and who you are in the process. I know it can get a little lonely sometimes, but when you feel that loneliness, think about what it is that you would be doing if you were with that person. And, maybe you'd be watching a movie, maybe you'd be going out to dinner. Whatever it is that you would be doing together, you can do that on your own, and there's nothing wrong with that. Spending time with you, it's a great way to love yourself. And if you begin to really love yourself more and more, you're going to draw in somebody who's going to love you just as much. I do wish you all the best in finding that special person. So have a wonderful day. I'm Victoria from HipTalk.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.